Hello everyone and welcome to a very special end of year video on CR Sim Racing. Now I don't usually like to put my face on screen like this, so apologies in advance for that, but I wanted to start by saying a huge thank you to everyone who supported the channel over these past 12 months. Every supportive comment, every piece of help and advice, every like, every sub. It's really helped me improve as a sim racer this year and it's helped the channel grow too, so for that I'm truly very grateful. And what a year it's been. Much like my iRating, it's disappeared in a flash. But there have been some memorable moments along the way, and that's what we're here to have a look at today. I've gone through my videos over the past 12 months and picked out my 10 most memorable moments of 2022. Now, I've been careful to choose the word memorable here. Not all of the clips you're about to see are going to feature me at my best. Sure, we've had some memorable races for the right reasons, but others, they're memorable for all the wrong reasons. But it wouldn't be a CR Sim Racing video without a disaster or two, would it? If at any point you fancy watching the full video of the highlights you're about to see, I'll make sure I add the links into the video description below, so check them out. But that's enough from me. Let's get my mug off screen and relive my most memorable moments of 2022, starting with number 10 when I lose 500 iRating in one weekend. But hey, I said they all weren't going to be good ones, right? Well, we're going to give this F3 race another go and we're going to join the live action now because the lights are going green at Hockenheim. We're car number 9. We started 14th on the grid, but we've got away really well and there's room to get over to the left-hand side. So we got the racing line, but we've been absolutely clobbered from behind and I don't believe it. We're out again. Yeah, I really thought this was going to be the race where I reversed my fortunes, but it wasn't to be. We didn't even make it into turn 1 this time. And I wonder if this was my fault. Should I not have moved over to the racing line because I went right in front of Alex Bayer? But one thing's for sure, caution's not done yet. We need to make sure that we don't run wide into this left-hander again. Oh, there's contact! Caution went for the inside line to make it pass. I'd already committed to trying to get to the apex first. And oh, once again, we've got wheel alignment damage. Yeah, this car is bordering on being undrivable. And I thought that I'd be pretty safe here, but how wrong I was. We get a warning that there's a slow car ahead. He's out on the grass rejoining, but I get completely caught out by the car that had come to a complete stop on the racing line. Well, I've learned to expect the unexpected in sim racing, but even I didn't expect this. The Red Bull liveried car had come to a complete halt. And I just had no time to react. Now, if I'm being critical of myself, I had plenty of warning that there was an incident going on, but my attention was caught by the car on the grass. I thought that was what the warning was for, when in fact this Red Bull car, well, it looks like they pulled to a complete stop to let the car rejoin in front, but right on the racing line, and I've got nowhere to go. The car's completely ruined, and this time it is race over. And it looks like Cyber is rattled. He's out onto the gravel again. Is he even going to make this right-hander? He just about keeps it on track. Roddick challenges, but Cyber is going to have the inside line for the hairpin. Meanwhile, I'm faster than the pair of them, but there's just no way through. I'm going to move to the outside. Maybe we can carry some extra speed around the wider line. No, we can't. Cyber is really quick on exit. They're still side by side, approaching the chicane. And Cyber's running in too hot. Roddick's surely going to make the pass, but Roddick's gone out wide onto the grass. There's contact, and we get by the pair of them. Oh, let's watch this again. This was the chicane on the previous lap. Roddick out onto the grass, runs into Cyber, and I make the opportunistic lunge up the inside to get past the pair of them. And I'm not sure if I'm far enough ahead to close that gap and go back to it, so I stay out wide again, not feeling at all confident near that wall. So in the end, I just let Ruben pass just so I can get around the corner safely without the panic of possibly grazing the wall and causing a massive wipeout. Oh, and as soon as I mention the word wipeout, look ahead, there's a car out of control. He slid right back into the racing line. We've got nowhere to go, and there's a huge contact. We almost roll it. We're airborne. Now, the leader, Jake Corley, in the red Budweiser number 2, is really unlucky here because the two drivers behind him, Glenn and Braga, are going to touch not once but twice, and it's the second contact that pushes Glenn right into the path of Corley, the leader. And then after that, it's complete carnage. There are cars going off everywhere. But I tell you what, if I'm going to carry on with over racing, I really need to work on my anticipation and my reaction times, because this is a whole nother level. Meanwhile, the vanishing Bruier has reappeared right in front of us, and in fact Blanco is going to get past him. Blanco into second place. Can we take third? Bruyere swerves across, he's going to block the line, so we'll move out to the inside. No, they're going back to the inside. We'll move back to the outside again. We're going to challenge around the outside. And we've got no choice but to go for that late apex again. Can we stuff it up the inside on exit? Even better, will these two guys run into each other? No, they won't. Blanco's still got second place, Bruyere in third. We're right on his tail in fourth, and you can throw a blanket over the three of us now. Just 0.3 of a second, separated second from fourth. And is Bruyere going to size up a dive up the inside into Mercedes? He is, you know. We've got to be on hand to pick up the pieces if this goes wrong. But Blanco bravely holds on to that second position. And I think we're running out of opportunities now to try and get a pass done and get ourselves onto the podium. We're approaching the stadium section for the final time. I think we're going to have to rely on these two beating each other up. So what's Bruyere got left in his locker? Hopefully it's not a disappearing act as Blanco defends into this left-hander. Bruyere goes around the outside and there's contact. Bruyere switches back. Oh, he's disappeared again. Where's he going to reappear? He reappears right in front of me and right on Blanco's tail. We're not close enough. We're going to have to settle for fourth unless this battle in front ends in tears. Bruyere on the inside. There's more contact through the final turn. Bruyere's lost it. Blanco's out of shape. We can pull alongside Blanco. Have we got the run? We can squeeze through. We're in front of Blanco. Can we get past Bruyere? No, we can't. But incredibly, we've got third position. Well, that has to go down as the most incredible last lap I've ever had in sim racing. I still don't know how we managed to squeeze through that gap. There's contact between Blanco and Bruyere. We run out really wide. We're alongside Blanco now. We squeeze through the narrowest of spaces to take third position. We're looking good and we're closing right in on Eli. We might even have to lift off the gas slightly. There's a little bit of contact in front. It looked like the driver in second, Gallardo, just got a little bit too close to the race leader. They both managed to hold on to it though, thankfully. Look at Eli on the right. He's trying to force his way up the inside of Gallardo. Things getting really tight here. I might just hang back a little bit, and that's exactly why I did. And maybe I should take that as a bit of a warning too. If I do close in on Gallardo, I might need to give him a bit more room, although it doesn't matter now because Gallardo has missed his braking point into T1. He runs wide. We tuck it up the inside, and that puts us up into third position. So we may yet be able to fight for this race victory, but we've got to get there first. And as we enter T1, Filipiak's spun. Filipiak's gone. He's crashed out of the race lead. Jeffrey Eli now out in front, and we're up to second. So for me, these final 6 laps are all about keeping it safe and steady and consolidating this second position, which would be a great result. But suddenly, it's going to get better because look in front, the race leader, Jeffrey Eli, has crashed at T1. And what a catastrophic mistake this is from Jeffrey Eli, leading the race under no pressure at all. He's 3.5 seconds clear, and he loses the rear into T1. We're definitely looking far stronger than that BMW, but are we going to run out of time? I think this one is going to go to the wire. I reckon we'll be right on the tail of that BMW by the final turn. This could all come down to the very last corner. Look at the gap now as we come through turn 6. It's 0.6 of a second. Sapala is going to know that. He's going to see me getting ever bigger in his rearview mirror, and that is going to put him under even more pressure to try and control that BMW. Look at the extra pace we're carrying. We push our luck a bit too much with the track limits there. And the front right is now below 30%, so it's getting towards situation critical for our front right tyre, but we've only got a couple of corners to go down the waterfall for the last time. We're as close as we're ever going to be. Now I'm going to try as wide an entry as possible into this penultimate turn, just so it gives me the opportunity to tuck it up the inside, and that's exactly what we're doing. It's a drag race to the final turn, and we've done it. We've got in front of Pala. Well, as we wait for the lights to go green, I'm beginning to fill with dread. I just don't know how 21 of these Porsches are going to get through the corkscrew on lap 1, or in fact, are we even going to make it that far? We're underway. The lights are green. Already 2 cars get collected in front. Oh, we've been tagged from behind and we've been spun around 360 degrees into the wall. Have we picked up damage? Luckily, we're facing the right way. We can get back going again. There'll be an incident to the right just off screen now, which causes all the cars behind to try and swerve, and it's just a chain reaction. A domino effect as all 11 cars behind me pile in, and look at the scenes we're leaving behind us. Ultimately though, this race was shaped by what happened before the majority of the grid had even passed the green flag. So what caused this one then? Well, we see from this angle that there was a car fairly well up the grid that spanned first. And it was actually one of the fastest drivers on the track, Toshihiko Suzuki, qualified in third. He's there in the white car and you can just see he gives it too much gas. The rear spins around and after that it is an absolute free-for-all. But he's not quite close enough yet. It's still half a second, so he's not gained, but he's going to give it a go up the inside. We didn't defend, but hopefully we've got enough pace around the outside to hold on to it. We're side by side, but we do just have enough grunt to get out of that corner a bit quicker, so we've held on. But we can forget about any ideas of having an easy last half of that because Doe is all over us. We're going to have to take the defensive line into this left-hander and block off any possible way through. Our tighter line will compromise our exit speed slightly and so will clip in the curb on the inside. So that's going to give Doe a little bit of advantage, 0.2 of a second. So again, we're going to have to move to the inside and try and shut off any possible way through. And I think we're going to have to defend again into this turn. Let's just hope that Doe doesn't do what Marks did and keep his foot planted on the gas pedal. Oh no, it looks like he is. We're side by side again. Doe's flat out. He's going to have the inside line and we're going to lose this position at the last turn unless we grit our teeth and keep it pinned, and it looks like we've got it done. We come out of the final turn in front of Doe. I thought we'd lost it when he had the inside line into the penultimate corner and we've held on to 5th place. What a finish. I was hoping he wouldn't keep it pinned, but it's the last lap. He's going to do everything he possibly can. He's side by side, and at this point, he's got the position. Look, we are done. And instead, we keep it planted as well, right around the outside, and we hold on. However, this is the section of the track where I do feel I might be a little bit quicker than him. We're visibly closer now, 0.5 of a second. Jacko takes too much of the curb on the inside. That's going to send him offline. This is our chance to close right in, and we've done it. We're right on his tail now. If we can just stay within 0.2, 0.3 of a second through these final 2 corners onto the start-finish straight, we should be able to use our extra speed from the toe to make a move. Oh, and Jacko's running in too hot into T1. He's sideways. The rear stepped out. I thought for a moment that he was gone. He's managed to save it, but we're right back with him now. Have we got the speed to make a move up the inside into this left-hander? No, we're not quite close enough. There's not enough room. But I reckon that Jacko is feeling the pressure now. That was a big mistake into T1. He was really lucky to save it. Fair play to him. But yeah, he's under all kinds of pressure now. Can we make him crack? I'm not too sure that there's any obvious overtaking opportunity before the end of the lap, and if we can run it around the outside here, we'll have the inside for the final 2 turns. Again, we're not quite close enough. There's 1 minute 15 on the clock, so this will be the penultimate lap. There'll be one more lap after this one. Can we do it? Can we make the pass through these turns? This is the section of the lap that we know we're quicker. Can we tuck it up the inside into this left-hander? We're going to give it a go. No! Jacko closes the door. It's going to be so difficult to get alongside him before the apex. We're going to try again. This time we might have done it. We're side by side into this left-hander. Now we're going to have the outside line, so it's important to try and carry as much speed as possible. We don't want to surrender this opportunity now, but we need to get it done before the final 2 turns because we don't want to get hung out to dry on the outside, and we've done it. We've made it stick. We've got past Jacko. Well, this victory certainly didn't come easy. We had to work incredibly hard for it. This is the moment where we took the lead. We tuck it up the inside of Jacko here. But at this point, the job is far from done because we're on the outside for the next corner. So the important thing here was just to carry enough momentum to stay alongside him while giving him space to race safely. Then we finally get our noses in front just in the nick of time because we can close the apex off in the final 2 turns. What a thrilling conclusion to an absolutely sensational race. It's got to be one of my best ever. And just like his teammates Julian Garcia and Tommy Cossenham, we know Boggy extremely well from our SCB races. He's an extremely popular member, and we know it's going to be a real battle to get around him, but we also know we're going to get a fair fight. Then getting a slightly better exit out of no-name corner there. He has a think about looking up the inside into Buon, but we're just not quite close enough. Now we're going to jump forward to the end of the lap, and on voice comms we were discussing that our best opportunity to pass Boggy would be to do it soon because he's only just come out of the pits. We know he's on used tyres, and we know that they won't be up to temperature yet, and just there into the source you see Boggy drifting wide. Ben had a sniff up the inside, but he wasn't able to carry the speed. But when it comes to speed, we know our Ferrari is really strong out of Radalon and onto the Kemmel Straight. So that's our opportunity to pass, but we don't get that opportunity. Ben just gets a little bit too close to the rear of that Aston Martin, has to lift off the gas temporarily, and that costs us some momentum. We're not able to make the pass, but let's jump forward to the very next lap. Ben deliberately hangs back just a little bit further so we can get a full, powerful drive through Radalon, and now we are carrying the momentum. We're right on Boggy's tail. We've definitely got the speed. Boggy defends, so we go wide. And now it's a flat-out race to see who gets to this right-hander at the end of the Kemmel Straight first. It looks like we've got the edge, and we have. Ben makes the apex in front of the Aston Martin. And it seems crazy to think that we're battling side by side with the very same car that we lined up alongside on the grid some 8.5 hours and 210 laps ago. And that overtake has actually put us into 29th position, because remember Pierce from earlier in the race, he was in 27th, he pitted too, but he also had damage to repair, so it was an extra long pit stop. We gained that position too. You can see Pierce now down in 34th place. 29th position was exceeding even our wildest expectations before this race, but it's not over yet, because Lepage in 28th is really off the pace. Over the next few laps, Ben reeled him in, and this is the point where we got to within striking distance of Lepage. But we could only assume that he was carrying damage with how quickly we caught up to him, and this was the moment. Lap 219, Ben decides to make a move for it up the inside when Lepage doesn't defend, and it's a fairly routine pass up the inside. Just a little bit later on the brakes into the chicane, Lepage doesn't defend it. He knows he's got damage, he knows he's powerless to hold us off, and we're up into 28th with a little over 20 minutes of this 9-hour race to go. And that was how it ended for us. Now we're rejoining the action on the very last lap, and we're just a few corners from home. Consolidated that 28th position. Again, we never dreamt that we would finish this high, so all three of us absolutely ecstatic with how well this race has gone for our first ever endurance. Just entering the chicane for the very last time. 220 laps of Spa. It has been epic.